Hey, my name is Tara, and I'm going to be presenting a case study here for you about how I used a high touch online sales funnel to attract the ideal client into my business and help me grow my business. And the intention is that you can use what you learn in this training here to grow your own funnel and for the purpose of attracting the people into your business who will help you grow your business, whether those are buyers, users, partners, sponsors, anybody you want to attract who's going to help you grow your business. This training is for you. So you might be an early stage entrepreneur. You might have an idea for a product or a service. You might have already developed this idea in a basic form, and you would like some traction, you would like some more traction, you would like to bring in more buyers, you would like to do it in a sustainable and scalable way. And you might not know what language to use to attract the right people to you. So what can you be using in your marketing and in the conversations that you have to attract the right people to you who are going to help you grow your business? And if you do know, if you already are attracting people, you might not know how to warm them up quickly, and a high touch funnel is going to be able to help you do that. So that's something we're going to be talking about. And the other thing that you might not know is you might have the pieces in place for a funnel, but it might not be sustainable. So you might be burning through resources really quickly to generate the traffic coming in to your funnel. And so how to make it sustainable is something else that I'm going to be talking about. So like I said, this training is for you if you want to gain more traction and if you want to attract more of the right people into your business so that you can grow your business, whether that's buyers, users, partners, sponsors, or other people who are going to be bringing you opportunities. So what I invite you to do right now is to take a moment to be really conscious of the purpose of this training for you. How is this training going to help you build your business? And you're going to be spending, depending on how long this goes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. How is your investment of time here going to help you grow your business? So to be an intention, I have some questions for you. Why do you want to build a funnel to attract the right people to you? Why do you want to build a funnel to attract the people who are going to help you grow your business? What's the number one thing you want to get from this training? What's the number one thing you want to get from this training? How will this help you grow your business? How will this training help you grow your business? And the last question is, why is growing your business important to you? If you get more buyers, if you get more partners, if you get more sponsorship, if you get more opportunities, why is that important to you? Why is growing this business important to you? So take a moment to write down your answers to these questions and share them here in the comments if you like, and to really be an intention as you go through this training. So like I said, if you want to attract the people to help you grow your business, you're in the right place. And I'm going to be sharing more specifically what a sales funnel is if you don't know, what an online sales funnel is, and then what a high touch sales funnel is, and why you need one if you want to grow your business, why you need to be able to attract the right clients, to attract the right buyers, to attract the right people into your sales funnel so that you can grow your business. So why it's important that you have one. I'm going to be sharing the components of my own sales funnel, and I'm going to be talking about it in the context of the 4-phase methodology that is called the creative launch cycle that I teach, about how I use that launch cycle to implement an idea that I had for the high touch funnel, and then the 10 lessons that I learned in doing that so that you can incorporate those into your own process. So if you don't know me, my name is Tara Lutman-Achayak. I'm a leadership and communications coach. I've been helping people build businesses for over a decade. And I have a background in psychology, in information technology management. I worked for the U.S. Department of Defense for about 8 years as an information specialist and database designer. And I moved to Turkey about 15 years ago. That's when I really got into entrepreneurship. And when I started helping people build their own businesses, developing marketing plans, putting together branding, figuring out how to use online structures to build and grow businesses. So I've been doing this for quite some time now. I am the founder of the Creative Impact Studio. This is a community for women who are leading the companies, the teams, and the movements that are making our lives better. So they have a vision for how to leave this world better than they found it. And the community is for those people. So that's the Creative Impact Studio. It's a community of visionaries, thought leaders, and people who are developing the solutions to problems at scale to really help us live life in a better way, whether that's healthier, being better educated, being more entertained, living a more beautiful life, whatever it is that makes life better for us. That the community is full of women like that. So that's the community that I founded, called the Creative Impact Studio. Okay, so back to this training. What this case study will help you do is it will help you develop the language, figure out how to speak to the users, the buyers, the partners, the sponsors that are going to help you grow your business. I'm going to be talking about why a funnel is the tool to help you do this, to help you grow your business by attracting these people to you. You are going to learn the funnels of a funnel and a high touch funnel. And my intention for this is that you will feel more confident about what you offer into people as they come through your funnel and to whom you're making those offers. So with that, why don't we dive into the training? And I'll talk first about what a sales funnel is. So a sales funnel is a mechanism or a system that allows you to take a person and turn them into a buyer. So if it's some random person, coming along Facebook, that you take them through a series of steps, you take them through a process, you take them through a system that turns them eventually into a buyer. And I'm going to just excuse myself 1 second. I have a little allergy. Excuse me. So a sales funnel is what turns someone into a buyer. An online sales funnel is something that happens online to do this. You use online structures to bring someone through this process. And what I'm calling a high touch sales funnel is something where, a lot of online sales funnels are automated. And so people enter in their email address and then they go through a series of perhaps videos, or they receive a series of emails. So this is a very automated process, and it's what I would call more low touch. So high touch is where you're getting a direct touch into the person as they come through this process. And my intention in building the high touch funnel is that I wanted to have direct interaction with people coming through the funnel as soon as possible so that I could warm them up more quickly. And what that means is if someone is coming into your funnel at the beginning, they're cold. And so they need to have some interaction with you, some interaction with your product or your service, so that they can start to warm up to you, get to know you, feel more comfortable with you, and understand more how that product or service or you can help them. And so this is the process of warming them up, and eventually they would become hot, and that means that they would be ready to buy because they would understand how your product or service can help them. They feel comfortable about making the purchase, they feel ready to make the purchase. And so in a high-touch sales funnel, the purpose for me and the thing that I wanted to test was if I'm doing direct touches with people earlier in the process, will that warm them up more quickly? So that's what a sales funnel is, what an online sales funnel is, and what a high-touch online sales funnel is. So why do you need a sales funnel? Well, it's part of the sales process. And there have been sales funnels, for years and years before we ever had any online sales funnels. It's a way to bring someone closer and closer to becoming a buyer. So you need one if you're selling a product or a service, because it's part of the sales process, whatever that looks like for you. It doesn't have to be sophisticated. It can be very simple, and it can be a matter of, picking up the phone and talking to someone on the phone. But for you to have a step-by-step process where you bring people closer and closer until they're ready to buy. And the other reason that you need to have a funnel of any kind, online, offline, high touch, low touch, whatever, is it helps you determine if someone is the right fit for you, if they're the right kind of buyer, if they're the right client, the right customer, if they're the right sponsor, if they're the right partner. So it helps you determine if someone is the right fit for you or not. And it helps you build and nurture relationships until you're ready to make an offer, until you're ready to make a sale. So that someone doesn't just come in kind of cold and not knowing who you are, and you smack them with a sales offer, it can be very jarring, it can be very abrupt. And in the process of the sales funnel, there's a nurturing process. There's a process of building relationships that will help you not only get to know your people better, but help the sales process go much more smoothly. So as I said, I have used the creative launch cycle in the development of my own high touch funnel. So if you are not familiar with the creative launch cycle, it's a 4-phase methodology that I use with my clients and I use with myself. And the first phase is the idea phase. The second phase is the planning phase. The third phase is the implementation phase. And the fourth phase is the results phase. So I took myself through this process as I conceived of and built this funnel. And my idea was that I wanted a way to bring ideal clients into my funnel, but I wanted to do it in a way where I was really confident about who was coming in, that they were the right people. They were the people who needed the services that I had to offer. They were the people who could potentially be the right clients for me. And as I was bringing them into community, that they were the right people in the community that I was building. So I conceived of this funnel as a way to, bring people closer and closer through this sales cycle. And for me and my own personality, I wanted it to be high touch. I didn't want to be making offers to people that I didn't know. I wanted to know really who they are, what their problems are, what their dreams and desires are. And I felt like I needed to have more direct connection with people in this process. So this was my idea phase. How can I build this funnel that helps me build a community of people that I can serve in a way that I also feel connected with them and I also feel like I know them. So this was my idea and kind of my thing that I wanted to test. I told you I studied psychology, so I have a scientific mind. Like, how can I test this idea? How can I test this theory? So I created a plan. That's the next phase. I created a plan, and my plan was, to set up certain pieces and then see how it worked to be bringing in the people and see, were they the right people? Were they the right fit? Could I interact with them the way that I imagined I wanted to? So I created a plan about how to do this, and I started implementing the plan myself, and then eventually I brought in an assistant to help me do it. So together we were testing some elements. My assistant was building some of the pieces. I was building some of the pieces. We were testing content. And then so we were implementing the plan, and then on a week-by-week basis, we could be testing the results. We could see, if we adjusted this part of the funnel, what would happen? If we adjusted that part of the funnel, what would happen? So this is my own process, and as I go through, I'm going to be highlighting, what part of the process each of these lessons came from. So I promised you that I would share with you the different components of my funnel. So if you are watching this video in the Creative Impact Studio, you very likely have come through the funnel. If you have not, I'm going to give you the invitation so that you can test it out and you can go through it yourself. And if you're watching this video outside of the Creative Impact Studio, I'm going to make sure that you get a link to the invitation, and that's one of the first pieces of the funnel, so you can test and come through yourself and observe that. So my funnel begins with some kind of social media post. Either it's an article I've written, a blog article, an article I've posted to Medium, an article I've posted to LinkedIn, or a long form Facebook post. It could be a tweet. So I have different social media channels, and I will post something on those channels, and the call to action is an invitation to join the community. And so that takes someone to what's called the squeeze page, and on the squeeze page, people are invited to leave their email address, and in exchange for their email address, they get 3 things. They get a link to join the group. They get a link to a resource library where they can get access to all the previous trainings that I've done. And they get a link to the Creative Launch Reference Guide, which highlights the 4 phases I just talked about: the idea, planning, implementation, and results. So they get access to a document that I created that's like a diagnostic tool to help them see where they are in that process and how to move them forward. So they get these tools, and they get these benefits if they are interested in joining the community and getting exposure to this training, getting access to this training, and getting access to the community. So social media posts and then a squeeze page. Once they enter their email address, they get on my list, and when they're on my list, they get notifications each week about trainings and opportunities and offers that I'm making. And they also get links to some of the articles I've written. They get access to the community where they can network with other people and find partnerships and things in the community. So once they get on the list, they immediately get a mailer that instructs them how to get into the group and gives them access to the other tools. So the reference resource library and the creative launch reference guide. Once they click on the link to join the group, they have to answer 3 questions. And those 3 questions are filters for me to make sure that I'm allowing the right people into the community. So there are 3 questions I ask there. And that, like I said, that really helps me gauge, is this the right person for the community? And eventually, is this the right person for someone that I would welcome as a coaching client? And so this is one of the first interactions that they have after they enter their email address, is that if they don't answer those questions or they don't answer them very thoughtfully, that I send them a message and I interact with them right away and make sure, is this the right group for you? Tell me more about your intention. So right away they get a touch point with me at that point. And then, okay, they answer the questions, they're admitted into the group, there's a welcome message there for them, a video message, and they're given an orientation into the group. So there's another touch point. It's not a direct touch point, but it is a direct message from me, a personal message from me that helps them orient themselves in the group. And they do get a direct message from me welcoming them specifically and telling them to watch the video. And then what is very common in online sales funnels is what's called a nurturing sequence. So oftentimes this will be a series of videos that come through email. It could be a series of email messages or broadcast messages. So these are different touch points in an online sales funnel. In what I'm calling this high touch funnel, is that nurturing sequence is weekly, if not daily, posts from me into the Facebook community. But also it's a live training every other week. And then every other week it's live office hours. So in these live events, people have the opportunity to come in and interact with me directly. So I'm putting polls in the group to understand what people's problems are, what they want to learn, why they want to learn them. And then once a week on Wednesdays, people are able to come in live. They get free laser coaching from me. They get training that is personalized to their problems that they're going through at that particular time, based on polls that I've done, questions that I've asked. Okay, excuse me one second. Excuse me. So this is my nurturing sequence. It's a live nurturing sequence, and it's really customized to what is happening in the dynamic of the group at that time. So people have direct connection with me every week. And through that, then I can see what are the problems that people are having, what are the challenges, and what kind of offers can I make? What kind of opportunities can I give people, either to buy from me or to have one-on-one conversations with me, that I can help them and support them wherever they are in their business building stage. So this is what the high touch funnel looks like. These are the elements that I have. And I would like to share with you now 10 lessons that I learned in going through the creative launch cycle in this process, building the high touch funnel. It's as far as I'm concerned, never complete. As I learn, I continue to optimize and tweak and build something that I believe is really going to be of higher service to the people in my community and the people that I desire to serve. So at this point, it's probably been about 2 months since I put the funnel in place, and I'm going to share with you some of the results that I've gotten so far. So I'll share those at the end after I do these 10 lessons, or I think I have it somewhere in the middle here. And so there are more lessons, but I decided to keep it to 10 in the interest of time here. So the first lesson that I learned is that words are really powerful. So like I told you, I would do a social media post, and that social media post is something that would invite people into the group or invite people into the training. And so I noticed that whatever words I spoke in the marketing, that I would attract that kind of person. If I did a training about how to move from survival mode into thriving mode, that I would attract people who were in survival mode. If I did a marketing post about people who were high achievers and go-getters, I would attract people who are high achievers and go-getters. So the words that you use are really, really powerful. And when you put your call to action at the end of any marketing asset, whether it's a social media post or a mailer, you can start then to test and see who's responding to that language. And one of the things that I said you would learn in this training is how to use the right language for the people that you desire to attract. And you do it by testing. You can test it in your marketing, you can test it in your calls to action, and you can start to see right away who responds to that particular language that you've articulated. So that's the first lesson. Second lesson is fail faster. And so what I mean by this, and I did not coin this term, but that the faster I fail, the faster I could actually get to the success. So because I was doing trainings weekly in the beginning and now bi-weekly, but every week having a live community event, that I could test that language on a weekly and daily even basis and see if I use this phraseology, who am I going to attract? If I use this word, who am I going to attract? And so because I was doing it quickly, weekly, and even daily, that if something was coming in and it didn't feel like the right fit to me, I could change it. I could say, okay, here's what I attracted, here's what I want to attract, here's what I'm going to change. So I could test my marketing, I could test the words I was using, I could test the communications that I was doing, I could course correct quickly, I could do it on a weekly basis. And so that's the second lesson that I learned. And if you want to learn how to use the right words to attract the right people, set yourself up at a very quick frequency so that you can course correct really quickly. So it's this, it's this mini creative launch cycle. It's I have an idea about who I want to attract. Here's my plan. I'm going to do something on the weekly basis or this regular basis. Implement my plan and then look at the results. What did I get? Okay, it was what I wanted, do that again. It wasn't what I wanted, so tweak, optimize, course correct. That's the second lesson. The third lesson is to understand your user problems. Understand the problems that your people are having. Who are the people that you desire to attract? Who are the people that you want to buy your product or your service? Understand their problem. And the way to understand their problem with a high touch funnel where you're nurturing them directly week by week is that you can ask them. You can ask them in polls. You can ask them in private messages. You can ask them in posts. You can tell stories and ask them to share their own stories. So understanding their problems is really getting the language that you need to use to attract more of the same kind of people. What are they struggling with? What are their challenges? Where do they need help? That's the third lesson. The fourth lesson is to understand their desires. What do they want their life to look like after they've used your product, after they've used your service, after they've engaged with you in some way? How do they want that to help them? What do they want their, if they want to live healthier, what is the vision for their healthier life? If they want to make more money in their business, what is the vision of their life after they've made more money in their business? If they want to raise their children better, what does their life look like after they've been able to do that? So understanding their desires. And again, this happens in your interaction. This happened for me in my interaction with people in my group and in more private interactions with them, which I was able to do because I was connecting with them right as they were coming into the group. So immediately establishing a connection. Excuse me. Okay. So that's the fourth lesson. And an important point here is when you understand what someone's desire is and what their life looks like after the transformation, after they've used the product or the service, this is really what you're selling. You're really selling the after. Understanding their problems is understanding how you can serve, and understanding the after, what their desire is really what you're selling to people. You're selling the transformation. The fifth lesson is having a purpose and having an objective. So yeah, okay, lots of people are talking about setting up these online sales funnels and tripwires and this and that. what is the purpose? What is the purpose for the funnel? What is the purpose for you? What do you get out of it? And what is the purpose and the value that someone else is going to get as they go through it? So, in my notes here I have, are you selling or serving? And one of the most beautiful things that I heard from one of my coaches is that selling is serving. Because when you're selling someone a product or a service, you're really selling them relief. You're selling them a solution to a problem. And that really is serving them in their life to get to their desired outcome. So for you, having a clear purpose and objective for your funnel and what people are going to receive as they go through it allows you to attract the people that you can help, that you can serve through your solution, and being very connected and in intention about the purpose for that. It's not just to make more money. It's not just to sell more. It's to be of service to the people that are coming through that and interacting with you. And so this is something that I learned is really, don't just make it an academic exercise, but really be connected to the purpose and the objective of what you're doing. Okay, so the sixth lesson is kind of along those lines, to serve and to be generous. So what I know is that I will have people coming into my community and coming through my funnel that will never buy from me. And so for me to know that even if that's the case, that not everyone will buy from me, that everyone will be served in some way. Everyone who comes through my funnel will get some kind of value. They will learn something. They will grow in some way. They will share something with someone they know, that somehow they will get some kind of value in their life, whether or not they buy from me. But what they're giving to me is they're giving me their time, they're giving me their attention, and in exchange, I desire to give them some kind of value, whether or not they ever buy from me. So it's about enriching through this exchange. And as I shared, one of the reasons that I started the Creative Impact Studio is that I want to support women, people who are building business solutions that make our lives better and that leave our world better than we found it. So if someone is enriched in that process, this is still me serving my mission, even if someone never becomes a paying client. I know that I will get paying clients through this process, and it's okay with me that not everybody is, and it makes me feel great that everybody will be served and get some kind of value in some way. And I'll just throw in here, when I listen to Bob Proctor say the purpose of money and what money is, he says that money is a reward for services rendered. So the more people you serve, the more money you will make. And it may not always come in the way that you think, but in delivering high service through this high touch funnel, you will be rewarded with money. It will come through opportunities, partners, sponsorships, buyers, users. So keeping in mind to be of service and to be generous in the process. So that's the sixth lesson. The seventh lesson is how to warm people up quickly. So I've seen funnels that go over 30 days, that go over 8 weeks, that go over 21 days. And for me, what I wanted a way to warm people up quickly. And I know, because I did a lot of business building through live networking events and speaking locally, that the quicker someone can have a direct interaction with you, the warmer they become more quickly. So I wanted to build into my funnel a way to warm people up quickly and have personal interactions with me as soon as possible. And so I have a lot of live touch points built in, that I welcome people right away into the group. If they don't answer the questions, they get a message from me. If they answer the questions in a way that I feel like I can help them right away, I will send them a direct message. I'm doing live events every week on Wednesdays. So people are getting a live experience with me at least once a week, if not more often. And they get this early on in the funnel experience. So even though I'm not getting a ton of people really fast, I am getting the right people and I'm interacting with them right away. So that this helps me warm people up early on in the nurturing sequence in this funnel process. And that by the time I make offers, they have some kind of live experience with me. So that helps them get warmed up really quickly. Hear the seagull? We're right here by the water. Okay, the eighth lesson, we're getting close to the end here, is that you want to filter for the right fit. So I do this with the Facebook questions that people have to answer before they come into my group. And I'm finding that I'm turning away about 50% of the people who want to come into the group, excuse me. So, so this is really helping me keep the people in the community very like-minded and motivated, and people who are going to be very engaged, because I'm turning away, the tire kickers, the looky-loos, the people who are not so serious, and letting in the people who are taking time to answer the questions and answer them thoughtfully. So I'm able to filter better for the right fit when I do make offers. I'm not saying, well, I have 10,000 people in my group, how come no one is responding? Well, they might not be the right people. So I'm able to filter early on and make sure that that's the right fit. So that's the 8th lesson. The 9th lesson is to build something that's sustainable. So sustainable for me means that you do something that gets you your result without burning through your resources, either your personal energy resources, your assistance, your money, your time, your energy, these kind of things. So making it work, and making it work in a way that it gets you the results, and it gets you the results without burning through your resources. So what I can share is that my squeeze page is converting at about 45% right now, and I've probably invested about $1,500, and that's been work with my VA to help me build the online pieces and test them. And in a 2-month period, so in 60 days, it's returned $7,500 to me in buyers, which is clients coming on, and it probably will go up to 10,000 at least over 3 months. So in terms of my investment, I've received a return on my investment so far over 60 days, and it looks like that will go up over 90 days. And in this launch cycle, as I said, idea, planning, implementation, results in this launch cycle, that I'm getting to the point now that I've tested it, I've tweaked some parts, and I want to get to about 100 people on my list, and then I'm going to start optimizing and seeing how can I sustain this in a better way so that it's even working better, bringing in more money more quickly, bringing on the right people more quickly, and so that I'm able to make it work and have the return on my investment be worth the time and the money and the energy that I'm putting in. And that makes it sustainable. And optimizing it will mean that I can do all the activities that I do, but do them easier, do them faster, have them bring more money for the same investment of time and resources. So that's making it sustainable. And then the 10th lesson is getting ready to scale. So, having high touch often means a bigger investment of money, because if people are getting a direct touch, it's my time, it's my assistant's time. And so how can I scale this? And this is something, in this creative launch cycle, I'm back at the idea phase thinking, okay, I've got these results. How can I scale? How can I make high touch work at volume? If I'm bringing in 100 people a day, I don't know if I can be sending people direct messages all the time. So I'm thinking about how can I make high touch work at scale? And it has to do, I have a background in some computer programming. So it has to do about building in rules and building in scenarios. If this happens, then you do that. If that happens, then you do this. And then I can start to turn some of that over to one or more assistants and automate some of that process too. So as I have tested and experimented with some of these concepts now, I can scale it by developing rules. When I can see if someone comes in and doesn't answer the questions or answers them like this, what needs to happen, and I can start to build rules and scenarios and processes that will help me scale this process. And so right now it's working because my volume is low. I'm doing all organic marketing. I'm not doing any ads. And I have filters in place. So like I said, I'm turning away about 50% of the people who apply to come into the community because they're not the right fit. So I'm able to do more high touch, but as I turn the volume up, I want to be able to have some of those elements still in place. So I'm thinking about that in my new idea phase as I go back around the creative launch cycle. So those are my 10 lessons. That is what a high touch funnel is. That is why you need it to build and grow your business, because you want to be attracting the right people, coming closer and closer to you, closer to becoming buyers, sponsors, partners, users. So hopefully this was helpful to you as you think about how you want to be attracting the right people to help you grow and scale your business to help you get more traction, whatever that looks like for you. So what we talked about is what a funnel is, why you need one to attract the people to grow your business, whether they're buyers, sponsors, investors, partners. We talked about high touch funnel, what that is, and how it helps you warm people up very quickly in the process of bringing them on into your funnel, and helping you understand them better so that you can understand what language you need to communicate with them and attract more of the right people, understanding their problems, understanding their desires, and understanding how they articulate it in their language. And then all of this is getting you set up to scale after you're able to sustain the system. So with that, I am delighted to invite questions from you. You are welcome to put them here in the comments. I will be watching this thread. And if you're in the Creative Impact Studio, I'm going to be doing live office hours next Wednesday, as I do every other Wednesday, which means you can ask me anything. You can ask me anything about this training. You can ask me anything about past trainings. You can ask me anything about what's going on in your life and your business right now, where you're stuck and you could use some free laser coaching. So next week I will be doing office hours, live office hours, so you will get support from me. And as I said, that's one way that you can get personalized support from me. So do ask your questions here, bring them into office hours next week. And I would also like to invite you to share your top 1, 2, or 3 takeaways. What are the top 3 things that you learned from this training that you didn't know, or that you're going to go and implement? So if you would like to, so I invite you to share those takeaways here so that I can see them. That helps me, and that also helps other people who watch the training to pick up on things that perhaps they didn't see. So go ahead, share your questions, share your takeaways. If you'd like, bring your questions to office hours next week. If you would like to get some more support, if you are feeling challenged about how to communicate your message, how to communicate the value that your product or service offers to others, the value of your product or service in helping people solve their problems and get to this desired outcome that they like. If you would like some personalized support about how to do that so that you can attract the right people to help you grow your business, whether those are buyers, users, partners, sponsors, as we've been talking about, like I said, you can come and get personalized support in office hours that I hold every other week in the Creative Impact Studio. You can also, if you would like more one-on-one support, you can sign up to have a free coaching conversation with me. This is a free consultation where I will ask you some questions about where you are in your business, what stage you're at in your business, what kind of traction you have or what kind of traction you'd like to get, and then kind of feel into, based on this conversation, what kind of conversations you need to be having with people, whether it's in a high touch sales funnel or some other kind of funnel or some other kind of process, but what kind of conversations you need to be having and what you need to be saying to communicate and articulate with the people who will be your buyers and your users and your partners, what they're going to get when they come in with you. So how to articulate the value of your business, how to articulate the value proposition of what you have to offer. This is what you and I can talk about in a free coaching conversation, which is a free consultation for you so that you can help yourself get more clear on these things. So I will be available in that process and to talk about then if coaching is the right thing for you to help you implement some of the things we talk about. We can have that conversation, but the consultation is free. So if you're in the group, office hours are every Wednesday. Right now it's 4 o'clock Istanbul time, which is 2 p.m. London, 9 a.m. Eastern, and 6 a.m. Pacific. If you're not in the group or you would like to invite someone to the group, then I'm going to post a link where you can get the invitation. And once you enter your name and email, though, you'll get notifications for all of the training. And when I have guest experts come in, you'll get a notification about that. When I do office hours, you'll get a notification about that. And if you would like to sign up for a free consultation, I'm going to put a link to my services page on my website, and that gives you more information, and it gives you a link to set up the free consultation. So Like I said, I am live in my group every week. I do live training. I bring in guest experts. I do office hours where I can do free laser coaching, free consulting, give free guidance to people in the community every week. And I think that's it. And I will just sign off again and say, my name is Tara, and it is my mission to support the people who are building business solutions that make our lives better and leave the world we live in better than it was when we found it. So I'm delighted to support you in any way that feels right for you, whether it's in my group, whether it's in private coaching, whether it's in a one-on-one conversation to talk more about what it is you're building your business. I'm delighted to engage with you and connect with you and support you in all the things that you're doing to make the lives that we live better. So with that, I sign off as always with much love, and I'll see you out there. Bye-bye.